Video on how to fight. We're gonna have to use our imaginations a little bit here and pretend like we have just either dropped in to Desert Storm or dropped into our verse opponent servers. We just landed, right? This is gonna be for if you are running low on troops. Right now, if I look at my squads, I can hold about 8,000 troops, right? And the way that you can tell that is going to be if I send out a rally. Shout out to Joe Swanson. You can see right here the troop amount. So this one holds 2,000 and then, 1842. So I know I need about 8,000 troops for this strategy. I almost never have more troops than that. Okay? And people have different opinions on this. This is mine. If I have more than 8,000 troops, I can't protect them. So I'll normally go into a fight with about 10,000 troops total. And that way I never get blown out. When you have, higher levels, sometimes I'll lose 500 per breach. We went over that in the first video. That's going to be taking a look at these. And if you see the little skull on the top right there, let's see if I can remind you guys where that is. Let's see if any of these. There we go. So that's the breach, right? I'm trying to avoid that. So when I go in and drop in, the other thing I'll just mention one more time on the wall. I never have any of my defense. I can toggle this off quickly if I see someone small walking towards me, but almost I'd say 90% of the time my defense is turned off. So again, with that stuff in mind, I've got 10,000 troops, my imaginary 10,000. I drop in. The very first thing I do is I'm going to send my troops to an RSS. This is kind of a hard example, but normally let's just pretend I poured it in right here, okay? And my base went right there. What I'll do is I'll take squad 1 and I'll place them right next to me. Then I'll come all the way out, and whether you're attacking someone across the map or whatever it is, I'll send my other troops way across the map, right? And that way, effectively, I've taken 6,000 of the troops and got them out of harm's way. So nobody can hurt these guys on whatever server they're on as they're marching. And then I'll jump back at the top here. I use these a lot because if you click on it, you can cancel. It already has your thing pulled up. That little arrow right there is to cancel, right? So if I click that, my guys start marching back. And that's very helpful, especially in Desert Storm for pump fakes and stuff like that. I'm at this zoom all the time, clicking on stuff and trying to read the map as I go along. So once we've dropped in and sent everybody off, now I've got only this one squad to really worry about, and of course my base, right? Another thing, once you get all of your troops out of harm's way, even if you have some of them still in there that I recommend having on speed dial, is going to be in your inventory right here. This special little question mark, random teleporter. If a 30 lands next to you, you sometimes do not have time to go verse, scroll, click, right? And then it'll bring you to your alliance area. And when you jump back, if you're going to be on cooldown, and you don't strategically put yourself somewhere hard to find, you're a sitting duck. So if I'm in hot trouble and I've still got 10 hits on my base, I'll keep a couple of these in my inventory just ready to pop. Okay, and for all my fights, I normally have 3 minimum when I'm starting. Okay, and that'll just throw you somewhere random on the map. The other thing that I'll do when I drop in like that and send everyone... when you jump, by the way, your troops jump back with you. So in Desert Storm and all that stuff, when you use those teleporters, you pull all 10,000 troops back in. And when you do that and you send everyone off again, starting with squad 1 to make sure it's full, eventually you'll go to 8,000 troops and 7,000 troops. Then you can only send, 3 squads and so on. And that's how I keep my troops safe. The other thing that I do, once I start to run low on squad 1 troops, and this is only if my squad 1's not full, I keep these ready to pop. So when squad 1's ready or are missing troops, I'll pop one of these and then I'll keep fighting. So I'm always running with the lowest amounts of troops in my actual barracks as I can. For the hospital, I will normally jump back, and that's from a server when I jump back, or from Desert Storm when I go to the safe zone. That's normally when I think about healing. Desert Storm, I don't know if it has batch heal. I haven't found it, but for servers, that's where I'm focusing on batch healing. If my base turns red at all while I'm doing that, again, I'm going right here. I may peek quickly to see what's about to hit me, but normally I'll just go right here and just hit this. And if you jump 2 or 3 times and never get hit, you're gonna be happy you have those and get good at it. So once I get into the batch healing, the other thing that I like to do is make sure that I've got plenty of these guys in the Alliance store. So I save my Alliance store cash for the healing speed ups every fight day, right? I'll buy these out. And what happens is I let my hospitals get to about maybe 25 or 28 hours. And once they're there, I'll use my healing. Okay, and that way my hospitals never fill up, at least not in the first round of fighting. So that keeps my troops super safe. I've only got, about 10,000 at risk anyway. I can fight for about an hour and a half. My base can get burned down 30 times. I don't care about my base. In Capital Wars, I did this probably 15 times, where I ported over to the other server. Then I would drop in kind of behind our hive, maybe like right here, where I'm kind of out of everyone's immediate, hey, that guy's right next to me. I would send my troops to the far side of the server. Then I would march my troops down to the closest RS, into this zone. Then I would start to pillage anything that I could beat. A little bit of cat and mouse, but it really keeps your troops safe. And, I think that's an excellent way to go about it. Another really great idea that we haven't talked about much is I can take one of these squads and make them a solo person squad, right? And I'll grab one of my little guys, right? And what you'll see is if you do that, and my guys are out marching, but if you do that, you can still zero level 30s if they have their defense off the wall. So think about that. You're sending maybe 300 troops. If you scout them and you see that they don't have defense on, you can send that very low risk single squad out to pretty much bump someone. And, if their defense is off, your level 50 blue is going to win. All right.